Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with a wrestling recap for you. Today I'm going to talk about NXT UK Takeover Cardiff. What a mouthful. They need just regular show names for these NXT shows. Anyhow, this is the second UK Takeover show. The first one was back in January. I actually kind of felt there were some similarities between the two shows. I would definitely say I am definitely digging this hard-hitting UK style, man. That was badass. That was a badass show with some good matches. Anyhow, let's get right into it. Try to jump through these. The opening match was a cruiserweight match, or exhibition match, whatever you want to call it, between Noam Dar and Travis Banks. Now, I say cruiserweight now because they're both little guys. And also, I should point out that both these guys reminded me of very specific other stars. I've seen Noam Dar once or twice over the years, and I've heard of Travis Banks, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever seen him work. But I felt like I was watching Daniel Bryan versus Jimmy Jacobs. That's how similar both these guys were to other people. It was just a weird perspective I caught. It's a good match. It's a good flippy match. The finish is when Dar hits a standing shining wizard to get the pinfall. It was a bad angle. Kind of looked like he whiffed it from the angle they got on TV. But, it was a good match. It was a good move. My only real problem with the match was that it felt that it didn't have any really any story, any stakes to it, other than here's just two young guys who both need a high profile victory. Yeah. I just thought, for a pay-per-view, you want something with a little bit more angle in it. But then again, I'm the guy who used to love back in the 90s and stuff when you'd watch wrestling shows, you'd get so much more of these kind of, like I said, exhibition-style matches. They didn't really have a story or a program going into it. This was just here's just a match to fill out the show. And it kind of made it feel like, everybody knows wrestling is not. If you're a non-wrestling fan, you've ever seen to a wrestling fan, you know it's fake, right? You're just an asshole. Of course we know it's fucking fake. Have you ever seen The Undertaker? Yeah, I'm in on the gag, okay? Anyhow, I just think having these kind of matches does bring a sense of realism to the card. Even though, for this particular show, I had 6 matches. Only the second UK ever, and it's so long after the first one. But still, it's a good match. So even though I was a little perplexed why it was even on the card, it was a good match. Second up, Antonio Cesaro, the King of Swing, Claudio himself, is in the back. And he's basically made a surprise here. He's here for a special challenge. He wants to compete in UK, NXT UK. I mean, he doesn't need to. He's on the main roster. He's Cesaro. He's a great star. Perpetual mid-carder, even. But, a guy named, Ilya Dragunov just walks up, gets right in his face, and makes like this weird kind of like barking noise. Like it goes, ah! And just starts walking to the ring. I was just like, okay, challenge accepted, I guess. And then he does get on the mic and formally accepts the challenge. I thought was, man, you should have just left it at your King Kong noise. So Cesaro comes out, and this is where you start to get the taste of what kind of night you're in store for. And by the way, this happened earlier today. But it's the UK, so it's, it was 2 o'clock here when they were going prime time. I had a blast in this match. It was really hard-hitting, really, really badass. The whole story of it was this young heel who's basically just getting his ass handed to him by an older heel, just having plenty of fight. And there was a handshake afterwards. Of course, Cesaro wins with the neck breaker neutralizer. And another really, really good match. But then we start getting to the greatness. I mean, that match was great, but the next match was a classic. It was the Grizzled Young Veterans. Oh, damn it. Forgetting the names now off the top of my head. Damn it. Anyways, they're the NXT UK Tag Champs. And they're defending in a triple threat match against Gallus and this team of Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan. And it's crazy. Now, first this Flash kid comes out with like the weirdest. I've seen this guy before, but it's like I can't figure out. I guess he's supposed to be a Sitzies dude or something, a hippie look, because he's dressed like Austin Powers. He's got Oasis hair, and he walks through the ring carrying a motorcycle helmet. What is your gimmick, man? Or you just have too many? Anyhow, they're hometown boys right there in Wales. And it's just a thrilling, amazing match. Lots of double team moves, lots of crazy shit. The craziest thing I saw of the match, probably the craziest move of the night, was a dude hits a suicide dive to the outside, but it's a doomsday device on the floor. Holy shit. That was a crazy move. There's a great spot here where the champs hit Mark Andrews with their double team finisher, and like the crowd goes silent because you can tell they all think it's over right here, and he kicks out, and it is a huge ovation. The baby faces eventually, pull it out, man. They hit a nice double team finisher, and they get the pin, and they are the new champions. Apparently, the first ever people from Wales to ever be champions of any kind in the WWE. And one more quick thing I gotta say about this match. I mean, I'm running through this match, but the truth is, that was a 5-star match. If you got the WWE Network, you should go out of your way to try to see that triple threat match from earlier today. That was phenomenal. But one more quick thing I want to say is that those United Kingdom Tag Team Championship belts are utterly gorgeous. Those are some pretty fucking hardware, man. I mean, the main roster needs to take note, man. That's what a championship should look like. Anyhow, next up was the last man standing match. It's Dave Mastiff versus Joe Coffey. And man, did they beat the shit out of each other. Like less than a minute, or about a minute into the match, Mastiff Irish whips Coffey, and Coffey hits the ring post so hard, the entire top ring rope falls. Drops off the damn ring. There's hellacious shit all through. There's table spots. I think they, of course, chairs. Always gotta have chairs. I think they use kendo sticks. Oh man, what was a weird thing they used? Damn it, I'm blanking on it. There's a great part where they basically joust. Each guy goes into a different part of this arena with their chair, and they like charge at each other and slam right at each other with the chairs. That was crazy. The finish comes where there's a double fall. They both fall off something high, crash through a shitload of tables. They're both struggling to get to their feet. They're leaning on travel cases, and the heel gets to his feet first, and he looks over Mastiff is holding onto the travel case to pull himself up to his feet, and brilliant heel move, man. Coffey just kicks the travel case, and it rolls away from Mastiff. Mastiff falls right back down. Match over. Heel wins. Great finish. I gotta say, both last man standing matches, most recent ones I've seen before this, both the one from last year between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa was just a work of art. The one from last month between Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley damn near stole the show at that pay-per-view if it wouldn't have been for their stupid-ass Kool-Aid Man finish. But this was a great last man standing, and this had a great finish. One of the best finishes for a last man standing I've seen in a long time. I always like it when something simple like that. I don't like the cop-outs where the guy is pinned down. But, any way you can beat a guy in a last man standing match is always interesting and cool. Anyhow, yeah, I love that match. Up next is Toni Storm defending the UK Women's title against Kaylee Ray. And I got to apologize. I didn't really see much of this match. I caught the promo, the intro match package was real good. Opening intros had some good body language. You could tell these girls were gonna, they had some history. The way they're playing, the way they're hyping, the way they're, building with each other. Saw a few minutes of it, and then I was totally distracted by my daughter. In a good way. I'm not complaining about my daughters. Anyhow, I just missed a big hunk of the match. I was able to catch the finish. Kaylee Ray hits a gory bomb across the top rope, on Toni Storm, and then hits a second one in the middle of the ring to make the pinfall, and that's 2 title changes on this show. We have new tag champs, UK tag champs, new UK women's champ. And it's time for the main event. Walter defends the United Kingdom Championship against Tyler Bate. Now, Tyler Bate is a very young man. I believe he's only like 21, 22 years old. And he was the first UK champion a couple years ago. And now Walter, who's a huge monster of a man. And Bate is a little dude. He's an underdog, but he's a powerhouse. He's very, very strong. And there's just no describing this match. It felt like it went well over 30 minutes. But there was no outside interference. There was no use of weaponry. This was just a fight. This was a really, really, really well done singles match. That, I was reminiscent of the Okada Omega match from a few years ago, the first one. It reminded me of many matches from Kurt Angle's career. This was a masterfully done match and one of the best underdog matches I've ever seen. Because not only is Bate kicking out of one heavy thing after the other, he's giving it back. Probably the most amazing spot of the whole match is Tyler Bate hits an exploder suplex off the apron to the floor, and that was hellacious. The finish comes from basically Walter hits basically it was just a clothesline from hell, and gets the win to retain the title. After the match, he celebrates with his faction, the babyface faction, come out and console Bate, and the crowd gives him a standing ovation. It was another 5-star match. It was absolutely great. Now, since I got through all that, I want to tell you the reason why I wanted to watch tonight was AEW's All Out. Now, in a few weeks, AEW is going to be live on television, on TNT, and going toe-to-toe with WWE's best thing they have put out there in the last 7 years, which is NXT. Now, this is literally... this could possibly be the next Monday Night Wars, but it's going to be the Wednesday Night Wars, because these shows, it's even TNT and USA. I would really love to see that show. I'm sure I will be catching an AEW pay-per-view very soon. But the problem is, I got too many baskets and not enough eggs right now. And, it's just not reasonable to shell out an extra $50 to watch a wrestling show when I could watch wrestling every day on the network for $10. So just right now, it's just not worth it from a fiscal standpoint for me. But I really am wishing them the best, man. I would love to see, because you see a lot of fans are talking about how this is just going to stretch the attention and eye of wrestling fans. It's just going to stretch the fan base too thin. That's nonsense. Look what happened when they did the MCU, when they started making superhero movies. It made the superhero fan base that much bigger. It catapulted it to even new stratosphere, new heights. That's what I want. That's why I'm hoping. Why I even think Cody Rhodes expects. Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega and the Elite, they would not be taking this risk unless they believed in their product. Nor would their backers be taking this risk unless they believed in their product. I really don't think this is a situation where it's, an outsider like with Billy Corgan just always wanted to have a wrestling show. Or Ted Turner was kind of the same situation, but just he just put money into it for years where they just had so much money coming in, they could afford to do stuff. This is kind of the base level. This is people where wrestling is their blood, wrestling is their family. and they want a new era of pro wrestling because they kind of feel it's been stagnant for too long. I'm stoked about AEW. I wish I could watch the show tonight. I will. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the future. Of course, the inclusion of Jim Ross, and with them crowning their first ever World Heavyweight Champion tonight, will be indie star, up and comer, upstart Hangman Adam Page, who I've been following for a few years. I like him a lot. Or it will be the legendary, the Ayatollah, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's easily one of my top 5 all-time favorite wrestlers. Yeah, man, I was even having a conversation about this last night where I kind of felt where giving it to Page would symbolize him over there about the future, but with this big TV deal coming on, and having a legend, an icon, a respected star like Chris Jericho as their flagship champion, that'd be good for ratings and for sponsors and stuff like that. Either way, it's like, this is a really exciting time to be a wrestling fan. When I mean an exciting time, I mean this weekend, this fall, just what's going to happen for pro wrestling over the next few months. Very exciting, very interesting. Anyhow, that was my review of Cardiff, plus my side spec for AEW All Out. Anyhow, I hope y'all like my stuff. I'm gonna go enjoy my Saturday night. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.